Okay, so this is the church that I attend, and I thought this would be a great time to demonstrate the Allen technique for snow plowing. We'll call it the Allen Arch, since my last name is Allen. And I want something named after me, so here's the Allen Arch. This is the whole parking lot from start to finish. So I pretty much bought my first plow truck, when I was 22, 23, and got my own plowing accounts and just kind of figured it out. So this is, all these techniques are just techniques that I've figured out on my own, and I have no clue if someone does things better, or I've got something figured out that people don't or haven't thought about. So I'm making this video to show you how I plow a typical parking lot. In particular, I want to point out the Allen Arch, and this technique prevents windrows almost completely. It's pretty impressive, and I came up with this by accident, and you'll see more in a minute. But the idea is, instead of plowing large open areas in a straight line, where obviously you end up getting the snow bank built up to the left or right, whichever way you're moving the pile, and it gets big enough to where eventually it starts spilling off the other side. And then obviously, if you don't have a V-plow, you have to go back and spend a lot of time working those windrows towards the edge of the parking lot, and it takes a lot more time, and it's frustrating. Well, I think I figured out a system, and I'll demonstrate it in this video, where I've all but eliminated that with a straight blade plow. And I honestly think I'd use the same method with a V-plow if I had one on my truck, which I used to have a truck with a V-plow, and you still have the same problem, and you have to spend that time going behind and scooping up all those windrows you left. So this is the system I've come up with that you're going to see a little bit of it right about now. I start the arch. Instead of going straight into it, I arch it away and I deflect the snow off the plow. Just like you saw there, and you'll see it get more and more of a sharp angle here as we go through the entrance. But I'll use this whole technique basically on the whole entire parking lot. And this is simple stuff here, but it might look a little bit goofier once we get into the bulk of the lot, and you see this same technique being applied across a 4-acre, maybe I over-exaggerate there, but a relatively large parking lot. So enjoy the video. I guess we'll just keep chatting along the way. This is a 94 Chevy Silverado. It's a 2500, and it actually had a Duramax diesel in it at one point, and we switched it over to a 5.3, which I love the truck, I love the motor, it's very reliable and dependable. However, if you're trying to pull something on a regular basis, stay away from the 5.3. Just a little tidbit of information. Do not try to pull anything heavy with a 5.3 on a regular basis. You will kill it, and your nerves will be shot. It sucks. But it's just driving around in basic type of truck work. It's great, very reliable. This is my first attempt at splicing a video and editing and doing all this cool stuff, so we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I don't waste a lot of time and have to redo the entire audio portion of this. But basically everything I'm doing in the opening phases of this parking lot is preparing for what's coming, which is the Allen Arch. You'll know why it's called that shortly, because it's kind of goofy looking when you see me doing it. And it's almost counterintuitive until you realize that it works. eliminates windrows almost entirely. And I know you're going to think that since this is only, what, 1.5 to 2 inches of snow that I'm plowing, well, that doesn't count. What if it's a foot? Well, obviously, if it's a foot of snow, you're going to have issues related to a foot of snow. Nothing's the same when you have a foot of snow you're pushing. But the principle of the matter still applies, and it will be faster if you do it with the arch. That's the arch method, as opposed to just running straight shots all the way across the parking lot, backing up and doing. And again, I'll talk more about this as we get to the parking lot. But with the arch method, if you have a large enough lot, you can even work your way directly into the center of the parking lot, under the right circumstances. And this would only work if you had basically, just about all 4 sides that you can push snow up to. Right. Obviously here I can't push snow up against the church, so I only have really 3 sides of the parking lot that I can work with. So if you have a lot of spaces to put the snow around all different sides of the parking lot, you can work your way out into the middle of the parking lot and do a little bit of forward and reverse, until you get a spot cleared that accommodates your truck's turning radius. And then you can use the Allen arch method to continue in a non-stop circle and never have to switch into reverse for just about the entire parking lot. The only exception will be the corners once you have reached the outer extremities of the parking lot, and you might have to finish up a little bit of the corners with some back and forth action. But with large parking lots, the Allen arch will add life to your transmission. There is no question about it. If you look, I'm beginning to form the arch. Obviously there's a light pole you can't see here. I have to get around that light pole before I can really start to arch my path. But you're going to start to notice a very distinct arch taking shape to my plowing path. And you can see the arch really taking shape now that I'm around that light pole that's out of frame. The bigger the arch, the more effective. All the way up to the point where you have an entire 360-degree circle. If you're curious about the equipment I'm running, it's a fairly typical Meyer tube style, old school. Just an old straight blade. Old Meyer, and the plow mount just kind of stays on the truck all year, and all I have to do is go hook up 2 pins and some quick connect hydraulic lines, and I'm ready to plow. But you do have that big old ugly plow bracket hanging off the front of your truck the whole year. You see the arch is starting to get a lot more dramatic. this method, you can leave your blade practically straight most of the time. Use the entire width of the blade, and all the snow runs right off, in this case, the left side of the blade, without any snow spilling over onto the right. And you guys have done this a lot. You know good and well that there would be windrows by now if I was doing this the regular method. You'll see here the blade, I start the blade out just about straight. I might have to adjust it a little bit, but just about all the time you can run it straight. Obviously I'm at the edge of the parking lot here, so I have to curve it a bit. And just plow your way through that pile, and you have no windrows that you have to clean up. And again, this is the Allen arch. More than likely there's already a name for this, or people have been doing this for years. I just haven't seen them. But I think I'm pretty cool for coming up with it. So I named it after myself. And also keep in mind that if this parking lot was a lot larger than this one, and I've had parking lots in the past that were, the way I would handle it is I would go all the way out into the center of the parking lot, and I would clear a spot just large enough for my truck's turning radius. Then I would proceed to start making circles. I would go around in circles, so it would be a 360 degree, well, arch. If we're calling it the Allen arch, then it's a big circle, and you just keep making the circle bigger and bigger and bigger. You can leave your blade straight practically the entire time and just go around and around to the point where you get dizzy, and then you can switch directions and go the other way, all the way out to the edge of the parking lot. Excuse me. And then at that point you just have to clean up the corners and around some buildings and a few particular spots that aren't going to work with this method. But you can clear a very large parking lot much faster with this method because you're not putting the truck in reverse nearly as much. You're not slowing down. In fact, you can get up a pretty good pace when you're just in drive, going in a circle, around and around, around and around. And just think about all the transmission trouble that you're potentially saving and the life you're giving to your transmission if you have a lot of large parking lots like this. You're switching gears, you're switching into reverse far less. So I would totally recommend this method to anyone who runs a straight blade, and even if you run a V-plow. Cleaning up windrows, even with this method, you're going to have a little bit of that when you get to the corners, because you're going to have to, clean up the corners. You're going to have a little spillover. So yeah, a V-plow is going to help a little bit, but even if you have a V-plow, this method is just far superior to just running a straight shot all the way across the parking lot, and then putting it in reverse, and then backing all the way back down the parking lot, moving over, run another shot down the parking lot, put it in reverse, back all the way back down the parking lot, over and over and over again. How many times are you switching from drive to reverse? And, obviously that's adding, it's taking life away from your transmission. And that's kind of why I developed this method, is because I was trying to figure out how we could go about these large parking lots without switching so much. And just to give you an example, I had a parking lot. It was a daycare center with a pretty large parking lot, probably 3 times the size of this one. And there were no obstructions.